Okay, so it's saying what are the x coordinates of all discontinuities for secant pi x over 2 within negative infinity to positive infinity. So they're asking for when you have that function, it has a lot of discontinuities, and they want to know where all the x values where there are discontinuities. So secant pi x over 2 is 1 over cosine pi x over 2. So when will there be a discontinuity for this function? When the denominator is 0, right? So for discontinuity, because there it won't be defined, right? All the other places it will be defined. So there is no problem anywhere else. Only at the points where the denominator is 0, that's where the discontinuities are. Cosine pi x over 2 equals 0. When does cosine become 0? Do you know? At what values does cosine become 0? Right? So do you see for which values of whatever the cosine is of, right? If suppose this is cosine theta, then theta is what? Where it becomes 0. Pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 5 pi over 2, right? Negative pi over 2, negative 3 pi over 2, keeps on going, right? So which values of theta? Can you tell me a simple way to describe all these values? They're all multiples of pi over 2, right? What kind of multiples? Odd multiples, correct? Negative and positive, or not the even, because even is pi, right? And that's not 0. So these are all odd multiples, positive and negative, odd multiples of pi over 2, right? So theta here is this, right? Cosine theta. If you compare with this, theta is this. So when x times pi over 2 is positive or negative, odd multiple of pi over 2, correct? So here pi over 2 is there and x is the multiplier, right? What values of x will make this work? Odd integers, right? Because that includes negative. So x is 1, 3, 5, so on, and negative 1, negative 3, negative 5. So this is at odd integers. So the x coordinates of all discontinuities. How to write an expression which covers all odd integers. So even integer you can say is 2n, where n is any integer, right? Because once you multiply by 2, it will become even, no matter what n is, correct? Similarly, odd integers you can write as, if 2n is even, how can you make it odd? Add 1 or subtract 1, right? You could say 2n plus 1, or you could say 2n minus. So you can write, the easiest way to write this answer is x equals 2n plus 1, where n is any. So you can say like this, or you can say x is odd integer.